Hello, today we're talking love and marriage Huntsville, Martell Holt. Why he's upset with the Fletchers because they refuse to be his flying monkeys? Let's talk about it.
The views expressed in this video are for entertainment purposes only. All commentary is alleged.
That's what I thought. Clown. That's what I thought. Clown.
When people discuss narcissists, they sometimes use the phrase flying monkeys. Flying monkeys refers to people who carry out the work of a narcissist or an abusive person. And it comes from the Wizard of Oz, in which the Wicked Witch of the West puts flying monkeys under her spell. The flying monkeys did the bidding for the Wicked Witch in much the same way as people might work for a narcissist. Hence the term being used to describe these people. A narcissist might use their friends or family, or even your friends or family, as spies, or to spread rumors, making them act as substitutes for themselves. Now, here are some signs that someone is a flying monkey. Number one, they side with the narcissist no matter the situation or evidence presented to them. Number two, they spread gossip or rumors about you. Number three, they gaslight or manipulate you. 4, they dismiss or trivialize your feelings. And number 5, they pass on information about you to help the narcissist harass you. So we see in last week's episode, Martell coming to visit Miss Fletcher, and they're talking, and then she said, now's the perfect time for me to go ahead on and tell Martell about Melody's name change ceremony. And when she told him about it, he said that, he did not want, in essence, he did not want them to go because he felt like Melody was doing it to spite him. Melody was having a whole name changing ceremony, paying all of this money, doing all of this planning just to spite him. So this is what he's saying. And Nell is saying, look, I'm going. I don't care what you say. I'm not your flying monkey. I don't care what you think. I told you this years ago when you were doing all of your dirt, when you refused to stop cheating, when you refused to honor your family, when you refused to protect your family, your ex-wife and your children. I told you this would happen. So deal with it. So we also know that Martell subpoenaed the Fletchers to come to court. He thought that they were going to testify on his behalf. He wanted the Fletchers to tell the judge that he was a good father. Actually, he wanted the Fletchers to lie to the judge and say that he was a good father. Backfired on him because the Fletchers were disappointed that he even subpoenaed them without even letting them know. And Martell is saying, well, I just wanted y'all to tell the truth. Well, he did not want the truth to be told. He wanted them to say that he was a good father, and he wanted them to testify against Melody, in my opinion. Everything in this video is alleged and in my opinion. So when the Fletchers refused again to be his flying monkey, they told him, look, we are both of y'all friends. We're not going to take sides. And Fletcher told him, look, I'm not lying for nobody, period. And so another thing that Martell got upset about is because in my opinion, when Chris and Nell had to testify in court, they had to tell the judge that how many times Martell had moved, and apparently something dealing with the house that he was living in, that he had to move out of that house soon. So whatever he tried to do to get the Fletchers to testify against Melody, again, it backfired on him because now the judge know that you have to move soon out of a rental property. And so even though Chris feel like Martell is his friend, he still held him to the fire when it came to moving out of that rental property. Chris Fletcher said, look, we are friends, but this is business. And every time Chris and Martell was in a scene together, Chris told him to move out of that house. He's like, I don't care where you go, but you got to get up out of there. But Martell kept on stalling, but Chris kept on him. And that is so good when you hold these people like Martell to the fire. You got to stand firm. You don't care if they do get mad, because somebody gonna be mad. You gonna be mad at me because I'm telling you to move out of this house. Okay, but my client is going to be mad at me for not getting you out of the house. So somebody going to be mad. So it might as well be you, because you are the wrong person. So I'm standing with right, because I got to sell this property and you're hurting my business reputation. So you got to go. I don't care if you get mad, you can get glad. And like Kiki said, whatever she said when she slung that water, that's what you can do, Martell. But Martell, with people like him, he's not going to give up. He know how far he can go with the Fletchers now. He know where they may not be my flying monkey right now, but perhaps I can win them over. Perhaps I can still use them in some kind of way. So he's trying to get nailed now to go and ask Melody if she actually cheated on him while they were married. But he's lying. We know Martell is lying, saying that Melody cheated on him. But why is it that Martell is trying to make himself look good? He doesn't want people to know that he was the one that messed up his marriage. He wants people to think that it was Melody who was the causing of it. Actually, he wants them to say, they want them to take equal blame. He don't want to take the blame. He said, well, okay, she wasn't satisfying me, or she didn't do this, she didn't do that, or she did this and she did that. But it's never what I did completely. I did this, but she did that. So if he can get people to buy into that, then that's what he wants to do. It's a smear campaign now, because he know that Melody will not come back to him. He know that he cannot reach her because she limits her contact with him. She has to change her phone number. She have to have security. She have to limit everything all of the communication with Martell, because when he had access to her, he did not honor that. He did not protect that. He used that. So now that she can't allow him in her space, because she's got businesses to run. She has children to raise. She cannot deal with Martell and his games. See, Martell is over here playing games. He must have time for playing games, because him and Coleslaw like playing games. They love playing games. But grown people don't have to deal with that kind of stuff. If you want to play games and she want to play games, that's fine. You go in your playhouse, but you ain't coming to my palace. You ain't coming into my kingdom dealing, and I'm not gonna deal with you. So guess what? You don't have no flying monkeys dealing with me, because none of your people have contact with me. That is what he's so upset about. The flying monkeys must have contact with the person that they're trying to, with the supply that he lost. So with Melody, that's why Melody had to cut Destiny off. I know people got mad when Destiny had to get cut off. When Stormy had to get cut off. And let me tell you about Stormy. Okay, see, Martell did not know Stormy. Melody brought Stormy onto the show. But see, Martell tried to get in good with Stormy. That's why we saw Stormy at Shari's birthday, New Year's celebration, because now he know that Melody and Stormy were friends. So now I got to see, now Destiny, she's out. Melody cut her off. So now I got to get Stormy. I got to get somebody else that's close to Melody, so they could keep up with her, tell me what she has going on, and spy on her for me. But see, Melody had to cut Stormy off, which is good. Now, Melody also had to cut Miss Marlene off. Melody also had to cut the Scotts off, because Martell was trying to recruit an army of people to spy on Melody and to create his smear campaign against Melody. And he was also trying to gather intel on Melody, and she knew that. She knew every game that Martell was playing with the flying monkeys, and she could tell when he was recruiting flying monkeys. He also tried to recruit Big Lou and Tiffany. Big Lou wasn't playing his game. He knew exactly what Martell was doing, and he wasn't putting up with that. So we know that Martell had got very, very angry at Melody, because Melody was doing really well in her businesses. She was doing really, really good on social media, and having, even her followers. Melody has almost 600 thousands followers right now. Martell even tried to stop that. So, but what happened with him was people would not support him. They would not support his businesses. So he got mad at Melody. So what was he going to do? He was going to recruit this army of people to try to come against Melody. Why? Because Martell wanted to save face. He wanted to look good in the community, and he wanted to come out on top. That was his goal, but none of it worked. And what is he left with now? One of the only flying monkeys that he's left with now is Coleslaw. And she think that this man really care about her. I'm not in their business. I don't really know. But this is what he's left with. Because when the allegations about the revenge P came out, people distanced themselves from him. Shari, Belinda, and everybody else probably need to. Even it also seems like CK even had to distance himself because these are serious allegations against Martell. But again, Coleslaw is still playing these games. So here's the other thing. Martell has switched up his game now. So we see that he has recruited he's only one of his only flying monkeys to come out and put Melody's children's name in her mouth. So he think that this is going to hurt Melody. It is probably making Melody mad. I mean, that's a mother. Mothers are protectors. But Martell and father's supposed to be protectors too, but he not protecting his children. But so this lady gonna put Melody's kids' name in her mouth because Martell encouraged her to do it, making top like, we this big happy family. We got 6 kids. We got to do this, do that. But whatever. But he's playing games again, and it's going to backfire. And I know people are very, very upset, and I'm upset too because I would not want a woman like Coleslaw to have my kid's name in her mouth, knowing that she did everything she could to come against me to try to hurt my family. And then she's running around with this big smile on her face thinking she's doing something. But Melody probably needed, I'm pretty sure she's not paying them any attention because only thing they're doing is pretending. She has a script that Martell has given her and she got to go by, and she's being used. But again, he's sending his representative right now, but but what's going to end up happening, the real Martell is going to eventually show up with Coleslaw to her face, and he's going to show her who he really is again, like he's always done again and again and again. But that is who he is. So I'm just only highlighting the fact that Martell has recruited flying monkeys to try to smear Melody's name because he do not want her to be successful because he's jealous, he's low down, and he's hateful. And for whatever reason why he's fixated on trying to hurt Melody, he should use that energy to help himself. And so I recently saw a video that Queen Sheba Darling did on her YouTube channel, and she talked about that there's a source who revealed to her that Martell is out to harm Melody at any cost. He really is out to destroy this woman. Queen Sheba also said that this source revealed to her that every time something good happens for Melody, Martell goes into a rage. This is why we see that when Melody recently revealed that her products, her 7th Avenue products, was going to be going into store, Martell flew into a rage. And that's when he just couldn't. And then when people are in a rage, they cannot think. They do things without thinking. So they are reacting instead of taking action. So that is why he got onto there with those gingerbread houses and with Coleslaw. And with the express purpose of having Coleslaw call Melody's children's name. He wanted to make sure that she called every last one of those children's name because he's upset with Melody, because every time she does something good, just like Queen Sheba said, the source says, he flies into a rage. And so, yes, we saw the rage play out. We saw that, again, that he was on to Coleslaw's live with these gingerbread houses. they're calling the Melody's children name. Then a couple of days later, maybe less, Coleslaw was in a store buying clothes, and they were in the stores and they were driving around and they were eating and whatever else they were doing. So Martell is in this rage. So he cannot function because he's so upset that Melody has something new coming out, and he's mad now about the 7th Avenue coming out, going into stores. And then Melody and her manager also reported that there's something else that's getting ready to come out that's big as well. So he not going to be able to come down off that rage before he go down over in another one, because it sounds like we can't wait. I can't wait to hear what's going on with Melody. And here's the other thing. He's in a rage also because Melody has been off social media. He don't know what's going on. So he's trying to lure her out into, which it failed. She did not come out to address anything. So he's mad about that too, because what he did, the plan that he had, did not work. All of that stuff, he was out there, him and Coleslaw running through the store doing high fives and all of that stuff. None of that worked. So he did all that for nothing. He could have kept that in the privacy of him and Coleslaw's own backyard. Nobody would have known. Nobody would have cared. But he don't care about nobody caring. He just want Melody to, he knows Melody don't care, but because he keep on, if he wasn't bringing Melody's children in it, I would come with a different conclusion. But because he brought those kids in, that man is in a narcissistic rage, and he's trying to hurt Melody, and he wants her to respond, but she's not going to do that because she knows the games that Martell and Coleslaw are playing. So again, with these flying monkeys, they are used. Now here, sometimes people are flying monkeys and they don't even realize that they have been recruited to be a flying monkey. So if this is the case for Coleslaw, girl, you need to wake up. You are a flying monkey because number one, you are protecting a man who don't need to be protected. Number two, he's recruited you for a smear campaign against someone. Number three, he's using you and pretending to be happy while he's doing it to get you to do what he needs you to do. Watch out for the okie doke because it is coming. I know you don't believe that because you are that big. He needs you to do his dirty work. That's it. That's all. And the end. They will never get their hands dirty. Trust and believe. And you better watch out because he's recruiting someone to do you the same way that he's doing, using you to get back at Melody. He's recruiting someone. If he don't already have someone, right now, he is recruiting someone to get you. He has his eye on someone to keep you in check. So don't think you're exempt from this. And so when he used his flying monkey to come against you, Coleslaw, don't get on the internet and let us know, because we don't need to know about that. We don't want to know. As a matter of fact, yes, we do want to know. And the only reason we might want to know is because maybe it'll help someone else to realize when people are using them as flying monkeys. And then again, maybe it'll serve you right because you had no business putting them children's name in your mouth. Keep Melody's children's name out of your mouth. You will be just fine, because you had a problem when people was talking about your son. But so when people start getting back on your son, don't say anything because you're going to deserve it. If I were you, I would keep Melody's children's name out of my mouth because it's going to come back to get you. Because especially if people find out something about your son and they put it on the internet, don't be crying and don't tell me they talk about my son. And I don't want to hear Martell talking about people talking about his son, because guess what? You leave kids out of your mess, then you won't have to worry about people putting your kids in their mess. So again, this is a cautionary tale. Please don't let people use you as flying monkeys. When you see people started recruiting an army of people and start gossiping against one person, they are using you in their own scheme. So be aware, and you better be careful who you mess with. I've learned this a long time ago. You do not stage a war against God's people because you're going to lose. No matter how hard you try, you're going to use everything up and you're going to go down and get defeated. And so that's all I have for Martell Holt right now, but we'll get on him again next week. And I know some of you all tried to answer the question about the lady who went to the funeral and she met the man of her dreams. And then about a week later, she unalived one of the family members that attended the funeral. So the question is, why did she do that? So the answer is this. The woman unalived the family member because she wanted to attend another family member's funeral because that is where she met the man of her dreams. And that's the only way she felt like she could get in contact with him again is by attending another family member's funeral. So this is how people with these psychological disorders think. It's totally, some of us could not figure it out. We're saying, well, that family member had insurance on her. Maybe the family member did something to her. No, it was all about what she wanted. And she tried to figure out how could she see this man again, no matter the cost. She wanted what she wanted. Does that remind you of somebody we've been talking about? Well, again, drop down in the comments and let me know what you think about flying monkeys. I'm so glad the Fletcher said no go. You're not going to recruit us as no flying monkey. We're not playing your game. You're going to have to go somewhere else. And that is what the stance we have to take when we're dealing with people like Hotel and his flying monkeys. I have another garden tip for you. I did purchase an herb grinder from Amazon. I went ahead on and got some of the herbs out of the garden because they're not going to last throughout the fall. So if you don't have any herbs in your garden, just go to your produce department. They usually have fresh herbs there. So in this picture, you will see the grinder and some other little pouches and I also got those from Amazon as well. Thank you so much for joining me. And remember, I am Aris and have a beautiful day.